There is a fear that has no name and no off switch. It does not wait for a real disaster. It hums under an ordinary Tuesday, under a paid bill and a quiet house, whispering that something is about to be taken from you. You check your phone. You check the door. You check the number in your account. And for a moment, the fear goes quiet, and then it starts again. Because you have built your sense of safety on things that can move. And anything that can move can be moved. So you never fully rest. One of the most powerful men in the Roman Empire felt that exact fear, and he found a way out of it. His name was Seneca, and the calm he discovered cannot be taken from you by any event, any person, or any loss. Stay with me, because by the end of this you will know how he built it. Here is the idea that everything tonight rests on, and it is the thing almost no one has ever taught. Your peace is not being stolen by the world. Your peace is being built on the world, and that is why it keeps collapsing. You have quietly handed the keys to your inner state to things outside you. A message that may or may not come. A mood in another person's face. A market, a headline, a number on a screen. You let those things decide whether you are calm or in pieces. And since every one of them can change without your permission, your peace is always one notification away from ruin. Seneca saw this with terrible clarity. He wrote that we suffer more in imagination than in reality, that the mind, left to guard the gates, invents 1,000 losses that never arrive and tortures itself with each one in advance. The threat is rarely at the door. The threat is the watchman inside, who never sleeps, scanning the horizon for the storm. And here is the part that changes everything. The Stoics realize that the only thing that is ever truly yours, the only thing no emperor, no thief, no accident can reach, is the inside of your own mind. Everything else is on loan. Your body, your reputation, your comfort, your money, the people you love, all of it could be called back at any hour. Build your safety on the borrowed, and you will never feel safe. Build it on the one thing they cannot take, and nothing can shake you. So tonight, I'm going to give you a framework. I call it the inner citadel. Picture a fortress on a high rock. Outside its walls, armies come and go. Weather turns, kingdoms rise and fall. Chaos, constant, in every direction. But inside the highest tower, there is a single room. And into that room, nothing from outside can climb without your consent. That room is your judgment, the place where you decide what every event means. Seneca lived his whole life learning to retreat into that room and rule it. And the man who rules that room is untouchable because the only thing left that can hurt him is himself. Let me show you how he found it. Let me take you into that room first. Seneca is sitting by a single lamp late at night. Outside, Rome glitters, and Rome is murderous. He advises a young emperor whose moods turn deadly without warning. His estates, his standing, his very life depend on a man who could order his death over breakfast. By every external measure, Seneca had everything: vast wealth, immense power, the ear of the most dangerous person alive. And by every external measure, he should have been the most frightened man in the city, because he had the most to lose. He knew it. He could feel the ground move under him every single day. So in that lamplit room, he did something strange. He stopped trying to make the ground stop moving. He gave up the impossible project of controlling Rome, controlling the emperor, controlling fortune, and he turned, instead, to the one province he could actually govern: himself. He would sit and deliberately imagine the worst. The favor withdrawn, the estates seized, exile, even the blade. He would walk all the way into the loss in his mind and sit there in the dark with it. And slowly, something loosened, because he found that even on the far side of the catastrophe, there was still a man, still breathing, still able to choose his own response. The thing he feared could take everything outside him and still not reach the room at the top of the tower. That practice has a name. He called it rehearsing misfortune, and it was the first stone in the wall. Watch what it actually does, because this is the heart of it. Most of your fear is not about now. Right now, you're fine. Right now, you're breathing, the room is warm, nothing is on fire. The fear lives entirely in a future that has not arrived, a future your mind has rendered in vivid, terrible detail and then mistaken for a memory. So Seneca did the one thing that disarms it. He visited the future on purpose, in daylight, with a steady mind, instead of being ambushed by it at 3 a.m. He robs present ills of their power, he wrote, who has perceived their coming beforehand. You do not banish the storm. You stop being the man who is destroyed by the rumor of the storm. Here is how you build that first stone this week. Take the loss you most quietly dread, and instead of fleeing the thought, sit down and walk straight into it. Ask calmly, if this actually happened, what would the next morning truly look like? What would I do? Who would I still be? Not to torture yourself, to inoculate yourself. Almost every time, you will find the same thing Seneca found, that the catastrophe your mind built in the dark is far larger than the one that exists in the world, and that on the other side of it there is still a person who can stand. Once you have visited the worst with your eyes open, it stops being able to ambush you. You have taken its power and moved it inside your own walls. Now, let me bring this into your actual life, into the 3 places the fear hunts you. The first is the glowing rectangle in your hand. You open it to rest for 1 minute, and instead the world floods in. A war, a verdict, a stranger's perfect life, 100 reasons to be afraid, delivered straight into the Citadel before you have even sat up in bed. This is the modern siege engine. It is built deliberately to keep the watchman in your mind awake and scanning, because a frightened mind scrolls longer. And so you hand your inner state every morning to people who profit from your unrest. Seneca never held a phone, but he named the disease exactly. The mind that is anxious about the future, he wrote, is miserable. He warned that we scatter ourselves across 1,000 things outside us and have nothing left for the one thing within. So here is the Stoic move, and it is a small act of war. Before you let the world into the room, ask one question. Is this mine to act on, or only mine to absorb? The headline you cannot change is not information. It is just whether you have agreed to feel. The Citadel has a gate, and you're the gatekeeper. Most of what storms you each day, you let in. And what you let in, you can keep out. The second place the fear hunts you is your work, and the people who hold power over it. There's a boss, a client, a contract, a situation whose loss you secretly dread, and watch what that dread does to you. You shrink. You swallow the honest word in the meeting. You smile when you should object. You let yourself be treated as less, because a quiet voice whispers, you cannot afford to lose this. That voice is not your employer. That voice is the closed fist. And every time you obey it, you hand another key to your citadel to someone who did not even ask for it. Seneca lived this at its most extreme. His security depended entirely on the favor of a violent man, and his answer was not to grovel harder. It was to prepare his mind so completely for the loss that the fear of it could no longer rule him. The man who has truly accepted that he could lose the thing cannot be controlled by the threat of losing it. He stands straight because the worst the situation can do to him, he has already faced in the quiet of his own room. You may never advise an emperor, but that contract, that client, that paycheck whose loss you dread, rehearse it. Ask honestly, if this vanished, what would I actually do next? The moment you have a real answer, the fear loses its teeth and you get yourself back. A person with a plan cannot be owned by the fear of needing one. And the third place, here is the one everyone expects a Stoic to lead with, and it is exactly why it comes third. Money. You think a number is what stands between you and safety. So you chase it, guard it, and still lie awake unsafe, because the truth is that no number ever closes the gap. The man with a full account checks it at midnight with the same fear as the man with an empty one. Why? Because the fear was never about the money. It was about control, and money only ever buys the illusion of it. Seneca, one of the richest men in Rome, understood this perfectly. He held his fortune in an open hand, using it freely, never gripping it so hard that losing it could crush him. "It is not the man who has too little who is poor," he wrote, "but the one who craves more." The bank balance did not change while you panicked. Only your judgment did. Money is simply the loudest example of the one rule that runs through all three. Peace built on what you can lose is not peace. It is a lease. Now I want you to actually do something, not just hear it. Imagine you wake tomorrow, and the thing you most fear losing is suddenly gone. Pick it: the money, the role, the standing, even a relationship. The number is smaller. The title is erased. The safety you built your days on has simply vanished overnight. Feel the fear arrive, the way it always does, fast and total. But now stay. Stay in the room at the top of the tower. Notice that you are still breathing. The morning still came. There is still water in the glass, still ground under your feet, still a mind that can choose its next move. The loss was real, but the catastrophe, the end of you, was a story your mind told about the loss, and you do not have to believe everything your mind says at 3 in the morning. Sit with that for one breath. That breath is the Citadel. You just stood inside it, and it held. But here is what almost everyone misses about Seneca, and it is the key to the whole thing. People assume the Stoics wanted you numb, detached, caring about nothing so that nothing could hurt you. That is exactly backward. Seneca was not cold. He kept his wealth, loved his friends, grieved his dead, lived fully inside the world. He did not build the Citadel to lock life out. He built it so that he could love the world with open hands instead of clenched ones, so that he could hold everything dear and still not be destroyed when, as all things do, it changed. The goal was never to feel less. The goal was to stop being a hostage to what you feel, to care deeply about everything and be ruled by none of it. That is not detachment. That is freedom. And it is the only safety that does not depend on the world standing still. So let me close the loop we opened. Why does a man with everything Rome could offer still feel the ground move under him every single day? Because he built his safety on what Rome gave him, and Rome can always take it back. The fear with no name is the fear of a man whose peace lives outside his own walls. Seneca's secret was not to make the world stop moving. It was to move the center of his life inside, into the one room nothing external can enter without his consent, and to govern that room like a king. The storm did not stop. He simply stopped living out in it. If you take one rule from all of this, take the inner Citadel and live it like this. Guard the one thing that is truly yours and hold everything else with an open hand. Care for the world, work in it, love the people in it, but build your peace on the room at the top of the tower, the place where you decide what every event means. Because whether fortune comes or goes, whether the number rises or falls, whether the world is kind tomorrow or cruel, the one thing it can never reach is the calm inside those walls. That was Seneca's real fortune. It can be yours starting tonight. Remember this: the world is not stealing your peace. You've been building it outside your own walls. Your money, your status, your comfort, even the people you love, all of it can be taken. But the room at the top of the tower, where you decide what every event means, is yours alone. Guard that one room. Hold everything else with an open hand, and nothing the world does can shake you. If this shifted something in you, subscribe. New Stoic wisdom every single day. Build the Citadel before the storm, and no storm will ever own you again.